server from 17 once again. This is Darksiders 2, Apocalyptic difficulty, video walkthrough. We're still in the Toll of Kings, but this is the final area leading to the final Animus Stone and I believe the Gnashor boss fight. But as I've previously stated, this guide is difficult to commentate because a lot of it is stating the obvious, and I don't want to bore people with you know, incessant obvious stating. It's one thing I notice when I watch other people's walkthroughs, especially if it's somebody who's quite new to it or inexperienced or just, I don't know, maybe they're boring people, maybe they don't have anything worthwhile to say. They just tell you what they're doing all the time. I'm pulling the switch and opening the door, running through the door into the big room, running over here, doing a jump, and you don't need me to tell you that. You really don't. You're adults, people, or some of you are younger, but you're still, you know, cognitively functional, so hopefully you don't need me to do that. And it enables me to say some things that are on my mind, to say some things that are happening, to share some opinions, some thoughts, to get some discussions going. It allows me to do a lot of things, and this is going to be a backdoor into, you know, behind the scenes of YouTube, because I've just put up a trailer video for Dark Souls 2 to show some people the trailer if they've not seen it. I wanted to commentate over it and all that stuff, but I found that every single trailer that I searched for when I hadn't seen it had commentary on it, and I don't want to listen to somebody's thoughts on the trailer when it's my first viewing of a trailer. I want to see it for myself. And I couldn't find one. When I finally did, I decided to upload it. And I immediately afterwards did my thoughts on it, did my thoughts on what a Dark Souls sequel means to me, and my concerns and various things like that. Oh, by the way, this is quite a challenging room. And I've just uploaded it literally this moment, and when I've gone to YouTube, it's blocked in every country. And it's blocked because apparently it has, it's from Viacom, because it has the VGA's content in it. And the trailer was showed on VGA, but trailers by, you know, their very nature, game trailers are not copyright restricted under the copyright laws that we abide by on YouTube. And there is a fair usage of such content that you're allowed to do. And it just doesn't make any sense, because the video that's blocked is the one where I've commentated over the entire trailer and then I've gone on to speak about my feelings on the game, which is essentially, all of it is my work at that point, because I'm taking what is something that you're able to use in fair usage and I'm putting my work on it. So that's been blocked, yet the trailer itself, with nothing on it but the trailer, is fine. And I don't get that. And the thing that is strange is I could understand it if I had if I had Jessica Alba introducing it and all that stupid shit, but the difference is I don't. I have the trailer itself, and I've just disputed the claim anyway, because I wanted to get it up as quick as I could so people could hear my thoughts, because everybody's asking, and chances are you might not see it now because it might have to be deleted, or, you know, who knows, maybe my claim is unlawful in their eyes and my entire channel gets banned and deleted and, you know, my YouTube career ends. But it just seems really fucking strange. And I understand it because they don't want to get in a lawsuit and all that good stuff, but it's, I don't know, man. YouTube is so strange. So very, very strange. Another interesting thing on YouTube I've discovered is there's a lot of people that are not the biggest fan of cursing, and they take it upon themselves to try and proselytize to other people and to tell them what they should and shouldn't say. And for somebody that's making content on their own channel, is it really your place to tell them what they can and can't say? Because I don't think it is. And personally, I think those people should fuck off. And it's just such a strange place, YouTube. It really is. And I do enjoy analysing it because I do think it's, you know, it's one of those extremely interesting social situations. So much so that it's probably being studied in a professional, you know, capacity, because there's just so much to it. If linguists are analysing language to the extent that they do, somebody is analysing how people act on social sites such as YouTube, because it's just very, very interesting. And there was a bill recently passed, I don't really know the name of it or anything too specific, so I'm not going to quote it verbatim or anything, but it was essentially to try and govern what can and cannot be said on the internet. And I don't know to what extent or to what context it was in, but it didn't go through. And that's a good thing, because this is the only real completely free-speaking area on the planet that we have, because everything else is highly moderated, and it allows for nothing but, suppression, and suppression I do believe is unhealthy. But the one thing that is good about it is the only real freedom that we have. And don't get me wrong, this does allow people to say horrific and hurtful and hateful things, and it does allow people to hate breed, and it allows for some of the comments that you've seen me respond to excuse me, in the activity feed, where I've been extremely aggressive and hateful towards somebody who's done the same to me, and it does allow for such behaviours of the most egregious content possible. But at the same time, it also allows for people to say things that people socially deem bad or irresponsible, or things that should not be shared, opinions that are not popular. Because the one thing that astounds me about anybody is their ability to lose critical thinking when it begins to turn personal. And what I mean by this is, a lot of people will say whatever they have to say to win a certain argument or a certain debate, purely because it's got to such a contrived state in the conversation that they're only there to get the final word or to get the victory of said conversation, which completely goes against the entire concept of what a lot of debates are. And I think a lot of it is immaturity, and I think a lot of it's stubbornness and selfishness and all that kind of good stuff, as I fuck this puzzle up, sorry. And it just seems to baffle me that these people can't take a step backwards and realise all you're doing now is, completely isolating everything you originally stood for, mainly to get, that final word, mainly to get that perceived victory in something that is not even about who's right or wrong, or who wins. It's about what is true, or what is perceived to be true. And I just find it really strange that people will try to force these views on other people as if it's fact, as if it's truth, when what I would implore every single person listening to this video right now to is find your own truth. Don't let anybody tell you what is true. Look at the facts, analyse things with critical thinking, look at it objectively, look at it away from emotion, look at it with logic, and then survey, is this something that I believe is worthwhile? Is this something that I would believe in? And one of the things that you need to bear in mind as well is unfortunately, at this moment in time, there are a lot of people that take almost a perversive pleasure in telling you how to think, telling you what you should be, valuing, to giving you your own ideals in this life. And I completely disagree with it. Like, my title of my channel is Gaming as a Surrogate Religion, and it's that title for two reasons. The first reason is kind of like a play on words, mainly saying that games are my religion, games are my faith, are my calling. And the second one is to poke fun at people who believe the concept of religion is something that's sacred. And there's a whole bunch of reasons for why I'm poking fun at that, and it's not because I think there's anything remotely funny about devaluing someone's faith. It's because I completely disagree with religion. I completely disagree with an organisation which is essentially a corporation that is exploiting ideology. That is my problem with it. That is not, if you believe in God, if you believe in some kind of, being, that is not me saying that you shouldn't, that is not me saying that is not true. That is just me saying that there are people that want to exploit your belief to better their cause, and I disagree with that. And it's my right to disagree, it's your right to disagree with me. It's every right, and that's what I'm trying to say here, people. Just because somebody says something is true does not mean it's true. And that is what is known, in my view, as critical thinking. It is the ability to analyse information and deem if it's worthwhile to your circle of thinking. And everyone's circle is different, and I'm glad everyone's circle is different, because that's what makes us so interesting. If we were all the same, it'd be like 1984, is it? 1983? I can't remember the name of the film. It'd be just, human life redefined, designed and controlled. It'd just be completely defined and boring, and that's not what it's about. But bringing this full circle from, the profound steps that it's on at this moment in time, swearing is language. Swearing is a word. Cursing, cussing, however you want to say it. It is a collection of characters that we've created, put into a certain sequence that elicits a response. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but there is no difference from an objective point of view from the word the than there is to the word fuck. There is none. It's a sound. That's all it is. It's just a sound you make with your lips, your teeth and your tongue. Boom. Done. It's the exact same thing. The difference is we have given it a connotation. We've given it meaning. And that meaning, for whatever reason, has meant that the is a good word and fuck is a bad word. And because we are conditioned, and because people tell you that you should not say bad words, they have this stigma attached to them that is essentially telling you that there is something about this word that you shouldn't say. And I don't get it. I've gone into various different videos telling you of my reasons why I don't understand the concept of those things. That's just me personally. Objectively, I understand it because it comes to do with, you know, forms of control, forms of law, rules, all that kind of stuff. Or society breaks down in some kind of, you know, philosophical type. But it's just a word. That's all it is. Same with a lot of things, same with a lot of different ideals, same with just... It's so strange that people can be so offended by things, but it is what it is, and the luxury is there's this stop button on any video on YouTube, and if somebody starts using words you don't agree with, you can press that button and go somewhere else that you do agree with. But unfortunately we have this other part of us that's known as ego, which won't allow us to do that. We have to, you know, say why we deem something unsuitable, why we deem something as wrong. And the justification for this is always completely selfish. But that's the end of that tangent. For anybody that didn't enjoy it, I do apologise. For anybody that did, please feel free to add your 2 cents to it. It's always nice to have a discussion. This is the Gnashor's second phase. If you didn't see what I was doing, I basically run away from it till it pokes its head up, and then I grab it with my grabby hand, death grip. That pulls it out, that enables you to beat it up. Once you've beat it up a lot, this guy turns up. This is actually much easier than the first phase, because this boss is just dire. What I'm doing wrong though is partially the detection of the game and partially just the way it's designed. When the boss growls at you, you're supposed to grab his face, and that enables you to do some serious damage to him. If you don't, it kind of just loops this battle because he gets life back. To grab his face, you have to be an appropriate distance from him, which makes me think that perhaps you're supposed to not get this close, but if I'm completely honest, it's easy to dodge this guy's attacks, because he telegraphs them massively, and you dodge them, you can continue to attack. But once you've done that, he'll be on the floor. Best thing to do here is charge the untouchable, and then start hitting him with some criticals, and just repeat this until he dies. Just bear in mind, if you do miss the grab opportunity, he'll get his life back, and this boss fight will be longer than it needs to be. And when he is in the ground, after you've beat him up in this phase, he's going to jump out of the ground at you. The easiest way to dodge this, wait for the vibration of the pad and evade. You don't even have to use your eyes, you can just use your feelings, just use your senses of your hands, and just repeat until you've won. But that's the funny thing about this game. The mobs of enemies are harder than the bosses. And the reason is because the mobs of enemies have not been designed well enough. And it's kind of funny, especially after coming off playing Devil May Cry, because one of my main concerns with the new Devil May Cry is, on Son of Sparda, which is the second hardest difficulty of the traditional difficulties, none of the enemies attack you. You can stand there for a long time before they start attacking you, and it takes them a long time to attack. And one of the principles of harder difficulties on these kind of games is that the enemies are more aggressive. Another principle usually on games is if an enemy has a wind-up, the wind-up usually takes a smaller amount of time on the more challenging setting, and this game doesn't. The wind-up is almost the exact same as it is on easy, and you can stand for about 30 seconds before the enemies attack you, and that to me is a legitimate concern. And I don't know if it's because they've toned the aggression down in the demo, which doesn't make any sense if you're going to represent your games in such a way, but it's quite worrying. And Combine that with the ranking system on the way it works, where if you do a demon dodge you can get very easy stylish points very quickly, and then it's just a case of attacking enemies and not getting hit, because the style ranking never goes down unless you get damaged. Combines to make a game that's probably going to be very easy to get the highest rank on, and that is one of the legitimate concerns about the new Devil May Cry. This is not, you know, the people saying that anybody who supports it is sucking Tamim's cock. I actually had to Google who the fuck Tamim was, because everybody was using this phrase, and it turns out it's the first name of the creative director of Team Ninja. Or Ninja Theory, sorry, Team Ninja, completely different company. And that just goes to show how indoctrinated these fucking idiots are, who are spreading hate for this game, that they've used these, you know, these terminology, they've shit on this game so much that they've got slogans that show how much they hate it, because they're bringing up the first name, not the last name, not the dev team, but the first name of the guy who is the directive of the creativity of the project. How sad are these people? I'm sitting in a room on my own talking to a microphone, and these motherfuckers are sadder than me. It's just madness. Thank you for watching, and you take care now.